In this video, we are going to talk about why Turkey and the US are fighting in Syria. While much of the recent media focus has naturally concentrated on Israel, another crisis has been unfolding quietly in Syria. This dispute involves two NATO allies, the United States and Turkey, who have been in disagreement since a US fighter drone shot down a Turkish drone earlier this month. In many ways, this conflict seemed almost inevitable. Turkey has expressed concerns about US support for Kurdish groups in northern Syria for nearly a decade. However, these concerns have often been disregarded due to differing strategic priorities in the Middle East, not only by the US, but also by the rest of NATO. In this video, we will explore the situation in northern Syria, its connection to the increasing instability in other parts of the Middle East, and what might happen next. But before we delve into this, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications to stay updated on our new video releases. To understand this intricate story, it's essential to grasp the Kurdish issue, particularly in relation to Kurdish separatism in Turkey. The Kurds are a significant ethnic group in the Middle East, primarily residing in southeast Syria, northwest Iraq, and western Iran. They are often referred to as the largest ethnic group globally without a nation. A proposal for a Kurdish state was made after the fall of the Ottoman Empire during the 1919 Paris Peace Conference. The Treaty of Sèvres granted Kurds a smaller autonomous region within Turkey with the possibility of independence if they voted for it within a year. Unfortunately for the Kurds, Turkey opposed this idea. After winning the Turkish War of Independence, Turkey replaced the Treaty of Sèvres with the Treaty of Lausanne, which returned Kurdistan to Turkey without any provision for independence. Since then, there has been an underlying Kurdish separatist movement in Turkey, where roughly 20 million Kurds currently live. The situation escalated in the 1980s when the pro-independence Kurdish Workers' Party, PKK, commonly known as the PKK, initiated an insurgency against the Turkish state. This conflict has persisted for nearly 5 decades and has claimed over 40,000 lives. A significant turning point in this conflict was the establishment of an autonomous Kurdish region in northern Iraq in 1999, facilitated by the creation of a UN-backed no-fly zone over northern Iraq. This development provided a safe haven and inspiration for the PKK, and their insurgency regained momentum in the 2000s. In response to this conflict, Turkey has taken various measures, including military operations, arrests, and political initiatives. However, one of the key factors that further strained relations between Turkey and the United States was the U.S. decision in 2014 to join forces with a Kurdish militia called the YPG to combat ISIS in Syria and Iraq. Erdogan considered the YPG an offshoot of the PKK and labeled it a terrorist organization. He was concerned that Western support for the YPG in Syria could embolden the PKK in Turkey. Erdogan's frustration grew in the late 2010s when the Kurds established their de facto state in northern Syria, along the Syria-Turkey border. Turkey intervened against the Syrian Kurds in 2016, 2018, and 2019, particularly after the U.S. announced the withdrawal of troops from parts of northern Syria. Today, Turkey essentially controls 2 non-contiguous areas in Syria, acting as a buffer zone between Kurdish-held areas and Turkish territory. For the past year, Erdogan has been threatening another intervention, which finally occurred earlier this month when Turkey launched missile and drone attacks on critical infrastructure in Kurdish areas. This action was reportedly in response to a PKK terror attack on a government building in Ankara. One of the Turkish drones was shot down by the U.S., which still maintains military bases and troops in Kurdish-controlled parts of Syria. The Pentagon claimed that the drone was shot down in self-defense when it entered a restricted U.S. territory where U.S. Special Forces were stationed. This did not sit well with Turkey, and Erdogan accused the U.S. of supporting a terrorist organization and causing bloodshed in the Middle East. In summary, the Kurdish question, particularly regarding Kurdish separatism and the activities of the PKK, has been a major source of tension between Turkey and the United States in the context of the Syrian conflict. This conflict is further complicated by the broader geopolitical interests of various actors in the Middle East, and it is a dynamic and complex situation. Neither Turkey nor the U.S. plans to withdraw from Syria in the near future, and the increasing instability in the Middle East is likely to exacerbate tensions, as it fuels Turkish concerns about Kurdish separatism and reinforces the idea that the U.S. needs a lasting presence in the region.